Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Brendan and here we teach that you can manifest anything if you can believe. Now today I want to make a video. This could be for people who are completely new to the law of assumption, law of attraction, manifestation in general, conscious creation of your reality, or people who maybe are feeling burnt out or they have something that they've been trying to manifest but it just doesn't work. They can maybe manifest other things for other people, but they can't manifest for themselves. So I want to talk about how important it is to incorporate into your self-concept, that is your body of beliefs, right? Who you believe yourself to be, how you believe the world works, pretty much everything about your beliefs and your attitude of mind. Your self-concept is similar to a state of consciousness, as Neville Goddard would call it. So first of all, you want to incorporate the belief that you can create whatever you desire, or at least that you can create something using these principles. Now you could build on this belief by getting success stories, you could watch videos, or reading even The Law and the Promise, one of the best Neville Goddard books in my opinion for learning how to use the law by example, because there's so many unedited case histories from letters he received from students, people he spoke with, about how they used it for all sorts of things. But if you have trouble believing that, believing is being and living, okay? So you want to assume the state of being of someone who can create what you desire, or even better, anything you desire. That's the ideal. That's the ideal self-concept. I've talked about that in a video before about the highest self-concept that manifests everything. I'll leave a link to it in the description. But that's the highest self-concept of being God, or if you don't like the word God, source, energy, the universe, whatever you prefer. But you have to know that you are the center of it all. You're the force making up your entire world, and nothing in this world happens without your own assumption of a state that becomes fulfilled. So including the assumption of the state that you can create whatever you desire, that needs to be happening within you. You can't do everything else right but not really believe in your power to create and expect manifestation to work. So the way to get into this state, I really like asking questions. You can ask yourself in meditation or in passing, or maybe get a journal out and write it down. Speaking of which, I just added more value to the Manifest Anything workshop, which now includes 28 exercises, practices, meditations, custom built to help you manifest your ideal life, alongside the 5-day self-paced mental diet workshop and the long list of ask-formations to transform your life. You can find the workshop on my website. I'll leave a link in the description in the pinned comment. So for this exercise, helping build on your belief that you can manifest, you want to really get a pen and paper or do a deep meditation so that it sinks into the subconscious. And when you're there, when you're in this state of mind, focused on yourself, ask yourself these questions. How would I feel if all things were really possible to me? And I mean everything. Like, how would you actually feel if God himself came down and said, I'm giving you my power, I'm giving you the complete control over everything, and you can create whatever you desire immediately, without delay, in any way you want, no limitations. Kind of like Bruce Almighty, if you've seen that movie. It's been a while ago. I might be dating myself by saying this, but Bruce Almighty with Jim Carrey is a wonderful example of this. How would you feel if you just automatically were assuming that power of God, the universe, source, to create anything? How would you think? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? You want to ask yourself these questions and answer in detail, okay? Because the more detailed you are, you're kind of mapping out the state of consciousness. No matter what you desire, in this case we're focusing on desiring the feeling, the belief that you can manifest what you desire, then the better that you can get clear on exactly what the state is, the kind of thoughts you would have, the way you would walk, talk, and carry yourself, the relationships you would have with your family, friends, strangers, the world you would live in, how you would perceive that world. Everything like this, you want to exhaust your imagination getting clear on the state. So in this instance, you want to get clear on that state of, I can create whatever I desire without delay, right here, right now. It doesn't matter your past. You have to completely put the idea of the past, of failures, anything of that nature aside so that you can assume it now. Okay? It's a blank slate. You're starting here and now, and there's only the present moment. So you can revise the past if you need to put it to rest, or you can tell yourself it's not real, and these limiting beliefs about what you thought the past was, what you thought your story was, are not real. Or you can just say, I no longer identify with that story. This is my new story, as you write out the type of person you would be, getting clear again on the state of being God. Literally being the one to whom all things are possible, right here, right now, without limit, without delay. Now, it's not supposed to be hard, but it might not be easy at first to really wrap your mind around, especially if you're new, because going from a world that seems like you're just a victim to it, things are just happening and you don't have any control over it, to I can have whatever I want, I can do whatever I want, it can almost be frightening. It can be difficult to actually believe and accept. So I'm telling you that the more you do this, the more you get clear on this, and maybe once you write it down, pen and paper, read it every morning and every night. Let it be your new Bible to remind yourself this is a law, okay? It's the law of attraction, the law of assumption. And it's true, and it will prove itself in the testing. Or if you're just doing it in a deep meditation, not writing it, journaling, pen and paper, then meditate on it in the morning when you wake up, because the subconscious mind is more open to impression. And as you fall asleep saying, I am God, I am God. I am the one to whom all things are possible. Of course, say it the way you would. The best affirmations are always things that you would actually think or say to yourself if you were that person, if you were that being, if you had that thing you desire to have, do, or be. Now, this next tip is something that I recommend for beginners or people who are very experienced and maybe you just need a little bit of motivation, but something you can always do, and I recommend doing it often if you will, because everyone is you pushed out, you're only helping yourself. But imagine something lovely for a close friend or a family member, even a stranger, if you hear of someone in need. You can do it right in the moment, just a little imagining, accepting it is done. Whatever it is that they need is fulfilled. Of course, if it's something good, lovely, if you were in their position, you would want it for yourself. It could be simple. It could be a new job or a promotion, a relationship, a car, a house, whatever they need. Simply allow yourself to imagine in whatever way you prefer. You can do scripting, affirmations, state akin to sleep, visualization before sleep, anything that really gets you into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And it shouldn't be too hard because you're not attached to something that's for someone else. You're not going to call them up and say, how's it going? Did you get what I manifested for you? Don't say anything to them. Don't go looking for it. Expect your vision, your affirmation, your scripting, whatever it is to fulfill itself, and it will, okay? You created the event in your mind, in your imagination, and therefore it's going to come into your experience. You don't have to ask for it. You don't have to go looking for it. And that's one of the things that when we're manifesting for ourselves can also be a little bit of a hiccup, because we do the imaginal work, we do the mental work, and everything we're supposed to do for the law, and then we go looking for it, right? We go seeking it. And that is out of alignment with the energy, with the state of consciousness, the attitude of mind made up of a body of beliefs of already having it. Why would you go seeking, looking, needing, desiring for what you already have? Enjoy it. It's done. So in that way, when you allow yourself to imagine for someone else, it's going to come to you. And so I've told this story many times, but when I manifested the first time, really testing the law, I had other successes in the past, but I didn't really know what I was doing because I was more based in just meditation and the traditional spiritual path. So I hadn't really listened much or understood Neville. But the first time I really understood Neville, I watched a Joseph Ally video outlining how to imagine, and it was very, very helpful. If I can find it, I'll leave a link to that in the description. But soon after watching that video and reading more Neville, I had the opportunity to manifest a truck for my dad, and it worked out. It worked in 3 days. It doesn't mean that what you desire will come in 3 days. It could take 3 days. It could take a month. It could take a year. If that's the time frame, it could also take no time at all and happen instantly. But it's going to depend on your ability to believe you really are the one to whom all things are possible. If your belief, your faith, your state of naturalness that it's already done is really strong enough, then you will be able to manifest whatever you desire without delay. Divine timing doesn't mean that there's some set time and something outside of you is saying this is the right time. Divine timing is when you finally get into perfect alignment, when you reach a full state of 100% naturalness. That is almost like taking it for granted that what you desire is really already done. It's already yours. There's no work to be done. There's no stress. You are free to feel that it's yours and take it for granted. It's not some amazing, crazy, outlandish thing. You're literally God. All things are possible to you. Of course you have this thing. Of course you manifested it, whatever it is. Of course, because you're God. Okay? It's like that. That's the naturalness. So if you can get into that mindset, doing these practices outlined in this video, it's going to make it much, much easier. Now, one thing that I also want to give you, on top of what we've already talked about, which is assuming the state, getting clear on the state of I can manifest whatever I want, and manifesting for someone else to gain some confidence and also do good for yourself pushed out. I also want to share with you something from my manifestation mastery system. So in there, there's a video course on detachment. Detachment has a lot of confusion around it. A lot of people might hear detachment and think, okay, that sounds like I can't have what I want. No, what it really means is you already have what you want, so you don't need to be thinking about it, worrying about it, fearing about it, being impatient about it. Anything of that negative, wanting, desperate, desiring nature, you can expel that from your mind, okay? You can expel these kinds of thoughts from your mind and allow the seeds that you plant of fulfillment with your affirmations, visualizations, scripting, whatever practice you like, to bloom and come true in your life. Because as long as you allow these opposite natured thoughts, these thoughts of worry, fear, doubt, and impatience to dig up those seeds, you're not going to see what you want manifest into your world. Okay, so you have to know that if you already believe in manifestation, if you already know it's possible, maybe you have successes under your belt, but there's something that you haven't been able to manifest. That's the whole point of the Manifestation Mastery System, Detachment Mastery video course, which of course I'll leave a link to. But the real key behind it is expelling from your mind in whatever way you can thoughts of fear, worry, doubt, and impatience. These are the biggest blocks to manifestation. You may be thinking, I'm doing something wrong, I need to watch more videos. What is it? Something is off. Maybe what I want to manifest isn't possible, or there's some moral problem with it. There's this higher being saying that I can't have it because this or that. There is no outside being. There is nothing but you creating your world. So understand that your imaginal activity, your thinking feelingly, right? Your mental activity is always on. It's always being monitored by the subconscious mind. And that's why you need to have your conscious mind be the watchman at the gate, not allowing anything into the feeling nature of the subconscious mind unless it's in alignment with fulfillment. Worry, fear, doubt, and impatience are not in alignment, okay? These are a lot of the biggest blocks when it comes to manifestation, so recognize them, okay? Even judgment of other people is really just judging self, right? When we're judging something on the outside, no matter who it is, no matter what it looks like, we're judging ourself because the world, everyone is you pushed out. It all exists in your mind, in your imagination. And were we without fault in ourselves, without judgment of ourselves, we wouldn't be able to see any evil in the world or judge any of it because we know that it's just a state. No matter what you're going through, no matter what anyone else in the world is doing, being, or going through, it's just a state. Everyone is free to choose their state. So if you don't like something, change yourself. In Neville Goddard's wonderful lecture, Changing the Feeling of I really love that one. You should go check it out. I believe it's only available in PDF form or maybe one of those AI voice channels. But Changing the Feeling of I, usually Neville Goddard is known for saying there's no one and nothing to change but self. In this specific lecture, he said it like this: there is no one to change, no one to purify, no one to make whole but self. So change yourself, purify yourself, make yourself whole. And you do that by eliminating these thoughts, these negative beliefs, these limiting beliefs in lack, which can't exist because you're literally everything there is, and letting those go so that the feelings, the true abundance, the natural state of having everything you desire because you are God will come into bloom and you'll see it in your world. So I'm sure you found this helpful. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much and I will see you next time. Take care.